Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're well. We do have a slight change of schedule. Instead of discussing mining today with our guests, we're going to be doing the second part of the institutional adoption video that I wasn't able to finish last time I was on air. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I still haven't figured it out, but I was pretty much cut mid-sentence. I'm actually in a number of invitation-only Telegram groups and Discord groups, and certain things are happening to different YouTubers. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Now, just before we get into the institutional adoption video live stream, let's see who we've got here. So we've got Mark V. We have Silver. We've got Jesse. We've got John Legend. We've got MJ Eichels or Michaels with a J in it. We've got Black Hat Team. Welcome, Black Hat Team. Black Hat Team has been helping me a lot behind the scenes, exciting things happening onto the channel. We've got Poman. We've got Mr. Alex Storyteller, who's also admin for the Telegram group. Do feel free to join the Telegram group and the Discord group and my X account, all the socials. Okay, at the moment, that's who we have. Now, going back, we'll just ever so slightly recap on what we spoke about institutional adoptions on the previous live streams. So institutions are now buying Bitcoin at a rate that we've never seen before. Institutions were in the 2017 bull run where they were buying and they were actively participating in ICOs. This is a lot different now. Institutions are buying Bitcoin to have on their balance sheets, on their treasuries, etc. Now, what I find really, really interesting is that institutions have a lot of money that they can do a lot of things with. They can buy real estate, but they're not. They can buy gold, but they're not. They can buy stocks, but they're not. They're raising millions and billions of US dollars, millions and billions of US dollars to buy Bitcoin. And this kind of tells you how much the world is now adopting cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. We're in a new digital gold rush age. Last live stream, I spoke about, as I always do, the scarcity of Bitcoin, and then how many Bitcoins were brought into existence, how many Bitcoins were mined in April and May, which is around about 13,500 Bitcoins were mined. And then I took a tiny amount of tiny amount of institutions, and these institutions say have bought a huge amount of Bitcoin. There's a huge what is it called? There's a huge gap. There's a huge supply shock coming. Huge supply shock coming. Now, last live stream, I did play you a trailer from Bitwise, which is a US-based company who helps corporations and invest and understand cryptocurrency. Now, very recently, only just last week, they had a conference in New York City. Many prominent people from the crypto community were present, including Michael Saylor. I'm going to quickly play that clip for you because I think it's very, very important. Let's have a look at that clip again.
Today, there's 80 companies that hold Bitcoin, or 80 publicly traded companies that hold Bitcoin as a treasury asset. 5 years from now, if you zoom out and look ahead, how many publicly traded companies do you think will adopt Bitcoin as a treasury asset?
I expect it will be significantly higher.
It'll be thousands.
There will be thousands.
It's just going to continue to grow.
I expect that number in the future will be closer to 20%.
It's going to become central to actually how companies manage treasury.
Companies are really getting excited about this.
I think when we look back, we're just going to go like, how did people not see this?
hmm And this is something that I did actually show on the previous live stream, and I will just touch upon it here as well. So this was only a couple of days ago on the 16th of the 6th, 2005. 24 companies increased their Bitcoin treasury holdings by over 11,000, almost 12,000 Bitcoin. These are the top 100 corporations holding Bitcoin that we are aware of. Metaplanet joined the top the elite and had over 110,000 Bitcoin. They've actually added to that, and they've made another announcement which I'll get to later. Now, all the top 10 or these top 10 companies are more than likely hodling their Bitcoin and adding to their reserves, and they have between them over 830,000 Bitcoin. 830,000 Bitcoin. Now let's talk about strategy. Just before I do that, can I just welcome BC Port, who's entered the chat, and then also Alexandra G. and David. David's been helping me a lot behind the scenes as well. And then we've got Trade Intuition as well, Joe, which is amazing. Which is amazing. I love shouting you guys out. It's actually really funny because I still have that thing that I just want to be in the chat more than anything else. Okay, so let's talk about strategy. Now, strategy is the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin in the world that we are aware of. Back in August 2020, what was 2020? 2020 was a halving year. It was also the pandemic. Bitcoin had one of its worst corrections in March 2020. 2020, there was a lot of uncertainty because of COVID. There was a lot of people dying, a lot of businesses closing down, blah, de, blah, de, blah. We were all there. We know what happened. Michael Saylor, who was then the CEO of Strategy, he's now the executive chairman, made his move, and he shifted all of his cash reserves into Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Now, the first purchase that he made of Bitcoin was 21,000 Bitcoin for $250 million US. Now, Strategy itself is not actually a financial company, it's a software company. Now, since 2020, Strategy has kept on buying. And I did have, let me see if I can grab it. I did have a visual on this as well. One moment, let me see if I can grab it from somewhere. Okay, so this is Strategy's buying. So we can see here every time that there's a orange dot, that's when Strategy has been buying. There's larger dots and there's smaller dots, and that depends on how much they're buying. That's correlated to their size. Now, recently, Strategy has been buying almost on a weekly basis. On a Monday, they started to buy more aggressively after Trump was elected, but they were buying before that as well. Now, they're raising money through bonds, issuing new stocks, and taking on debt or to accumulate Bitcoin, which is amazing because they could be using that money for many other things. Currently, Strategy holds around 478,000 Bitcoin, which is well over, I think it was 47 billion US dollars of Bitcoin, and that's over 2 or 3% of the Bitcoin's existing supply. Why do they do this? Well, Michael Saylor has called Bitcoin the digital property. It's scarce, it's secure, and it's far more superior to cash. So, in short, Strategy has turned a software firm into a Bitcoin powerhouse, a move that reshaped not just this institution, this company, but the corporate world. Many people are following Strategy's lead now. Strategy. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. If we look at who was next, 1 second, let me just see. So we had Strategy. Strategy is the largest corporate holder in the world. It's also an American company. If we go down to Metaplanet, Metaplanet is a Tokyo listed investment firms that transforms. That's basically a hotel developer, and it's one of the world's most aggressive corporations acquiring Bitcoin. It's often compared to Strategy. Now, in 2024, so last year, not too long ago, the company shifted its focus to accumulate Bitcoin on its treasury. Inspired by Michael Saylor, Metaplanet adopted a similar strategy to hedge against Japan's increasing debt and weakening yen. So just very quickly, before I move on, I see Blocky. I just wanted to shout out Blocky and Mark Dutch. So again, we had Strategy was a software company. Now we're talking about Metaplanet. This is a Japanese company, and it's a hotel developer. Again, it's not a financial company or an institution, and we're not talking about banks today. Banks will have its separate own live stream. Metaplanet has employed various methods in accumulating Bitcoin, such as issuing bonds, taking on debts, getting loans, etc. Metaplanet currently holds over, I think it's a 10,000 Bitcoin there, but moving forward, we'll see it's actually got over 11,000 Bitcoins, and it's got plans to become number 2 on the league table. Metaplanet plans on opening a Bitcoin hotel in Tokyo early next year, and to promote further cryptocurrency cryptocurrency education around the world. If we look at who else we've got on here, Conga. So Conga is a Chinese company that used to be or is in the car business. It helps and it finances people to buy cars. But in late 2024, it made a big change and it jumped into Bitcoin mining. It's number 16 on the list of companies with the most Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining means using powerful computers to solve. So what is Bitcoin mining? So as we all know, Bitcoin's blockchain is proof of work, meaning new coins are minted. They're mined. That's how they come into existence. And to do that, you need powerful computers to solve complex puzzles and secure the Bitcoin network. Miners get new Bitcoin as a reward. At the moment, the reward for getting a successful block is just over 3 Bitcoin. And that's how new Bitcoins are created, through mining. And it goes to show how very, 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 very early we are in in cryptocurrency and into Bitcoin. So, for example, we're at the fourth halving. So we've had 4 halvings. There's over, I think it's 32. I'm going to have to check that number. I think it's about 32, or if not more, halvings in total. And it's not even that. It's like, when people say, because they do say, don't they say it very often, oh, we're late into Bitcoin, forget it, it's at 100K. Well, you are technically late into real estate, but you're still going to purchase real estate, aren't you? You know, you want to purchase real estate, you're late into gold, you still want gold, stocks, share, Amazon stock, you know, Apple, you're late into all of those things. You're not late into Bitcoin. 100K Bitcoin is actually exceptionally cheap, exceptionally cheap. Although it depends on your mindset. Now, if you have a long-term mindset, it's cheap, because there is no all-time. We often talk about all-time highs in Bitcoin, but there is no all-time high in Bitcoin, if that makes sense. It's just going to continue to. Did you hear that? Oh my God, I'm scared. I think I heard something in the house. Sugar. I'm so scared. Oh my God. I heard something. Okay, guys, please just bear with me for 1 second while I just go and check. Gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so, so sorry. I had to check because I really did hear something. Thank you, Mark. Okay, who else has come in? I think just read. Oh, Rob C. Welcome, Rob C. I'm gonna have to call Ghostbusters. I swear down, there was I heard something in the house. Oh my gosh. Hello, Ken. I hope you're well. I'm actually shaking. I am so shaking. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. So, I can't remember where we were. Okay. The Conga. It was a. It used to help people buy cars, and it was in the car business, etc. Blah de blah de blah. It's now It's buying mining machines, and it's started to mine Bitcoin. So it's kind of moved away from what it was doing and it's gone into mining. So Conga has bought lots of mining machines from a company called Bitmain, about 400 million US dollars worth. Bearing in mind, this is a Chinese company. Now, China does not have the best. You know what? They're laughing at me. The chat is so annoying. Let them have fun. Yeah. If you were by yourself, you'd probably be crying. At least I'm not crying. Um, so they started mining Bitcoin all over the world because China does not have the best reputation when it comes to Bitcoin. China caused the 2021 April 2021 crash. So in 2021, it was a bull run. We started off the year about 30,000 odd USDT for one Bitcoin, and we went straight up into April 2021, and that's when the China FUD hit. I can't look at the chat now; they're horrible. Oh no, they're not. They just take. Yeah, no, it's fine. We can move on from that. There's no ghosts in this house. So the China FUD hit, Bitcoin dropped 50%, and it ranged there for a good couple of months before Bitcoins were taken off the exchanges, and the supply shock led to the actual all-time high of that particular cycle. But still, this company, this Chinese-based company, is buying mining equipment. And what it's doing is it's putting its mining rigs all over the world. So if anything like this does happen again, parts of the company will be able to still be able to operate. Now, Congo does have, if we check here, over 3,000 Bitcoin, over 3,000 Bitcoin, which is worth hundreds of millions of US dollars. They mine about 15 to 16 Bitcoin a day, which is really, really good. And they keep all the Bitcoin that they mine. They don't sell it right away. Congo is one of the biggest public companies mining and holding Bitcoin, and it only started last year. Now, but there again, everybody's keep competing for strategies position. Everybody wants to be the top holder of Bitcoin. So to recap, Conga was a car company in China, but now it's betted big on Bitcoin. They mine it, they hold it, and they want to be a major player in crypto. Okay, so every Bitcoin cycle, we have narratives and we have things that are somewhat exclusive to that cycle that help propel that cycle further. If we look at 2023, which was the first bull run, there wasn't too much of a narrative to get Bitcoin going. There was a lot of Chinese investors that came in. They didn't really know what Bitcoin was. They didn't really understand it. There wasn't any clear regulations. It was just herd mentality in the first bull run, Bitcoin's first bull run, 2013. I do apologize. 2013. Then 2017, Bitcoin's second bull run. We had the ICOs. They were a major hype in 2017. Now, ICOs were initial coin offerings. A lot of institutions first got into Bitcoin and into cryptocurrency, into the crypto market because of ICOs. Big money rushed in. A lot of ICOs made a lot of money. A lot of ICOs were good. They were all legitimate. They were all above board. Now, people start, and as it happens with every single industry, when you have a lot of hype and a lot of good things are happening, a lot of people are making money, people get excited, they all rush in, it's all herd behavior, but you also start to get the scammers. And we can see that now with the institutional adoption as well. In another live stream, I'm going to talk about paper Bitcoin, which is very, very dangerous. And I really hope we don't have some sort of black swan with paper Bitcoin. Now, scams still exist. So back in 2017, ICOs, brilliant. Companies, organizations, projects were raising millions of pounds, US dollars. At the same time, scammers were coming in. People were so excited about flashy white papers and headlines and made a partnership or, promises that they just rushed in and they bought into a lot of fake ICOs, a lot of scam ICOs. And that's one thing that helped contribute to the end of the 2017 bull run. Because the SEC started to come after projects and cryptocurrency exchanges around that time. Thank you, Black Hat. Please do hit the likes. With what's happened last live stream, i.e. my live stream just cutting off for no apparent reason, I will appreciate it if you did follow me on X and on in Discord and Telegram, just in case something happens to the channel. A lot of people, a lot of content creators have had issues. So let's talk about there's a lot of difference though between 2017 and 2025. There's a lot more regulation. Today's landscape is more regulated. Institutions are subject to a compliance with rules, and that filters out a lot of scams, but not all. The market has matured. The infrastructure, i.e., how you hold Bitcoin trading platforms, on-chain analysis is a lot more mature, as is the average investor and the average institutional investor as well. It's a different audience now between 2025 and 2017. 2017 was driven by retail FOMO. 2025 is starting to be shaped by institutional FOMO, if that makes sense. And we saw that in the first clip that I made, that I showed as well. Now, I don't know if you've heard, you must have heard, a company called Vandana Crypto, no, Coffee, yeah, that's it, Vandana Coffee. Now, Vandana Coffee is a Spanish tiny coffee chain with only 6 coffee shops, yet it has announced that it will be raising over $1 billion to buy Bitcoin. It's a brand, well, it's a new coffee chain. It did start in 2019. And in June 2025, they announced that they were going to buy 10,000 Bitcoin. And this is a pending approval from shareholders, but it's all FOMO. People are going to FOMO into this coffee brand. They are planning on selling stocks, issuing bonds to buy this Bitcoin, but they don't have that many stocks and they don't have the facility to buy or to get, 10,000 Bitcoin. So early in the year, they did buy 5 Bitcoin and their stock jumped 22%. And this was followed by a reversal. Nevertheless, these institutions, these companies, etc., are starting to pop up as well. So you do have the institutions that we saw on the Bitwise clip earlier, where they have, they're legitimate institutions, etc., corporations, companies, all the rest of it. But we are starting to get the scam lot in as well. Scarcity is always a big part, and it's always been a big part of Bitcoin's core narrative. And it's now being stress-tested in real time. There's a combination of a shrinking supply, institutional hoarding, diminishing miner rewards, and all of this is pushing Bitcoin's price up. Some people see institutional investments as a good thing. Others, like myself, however, think of it as a necessary evil. I do still believe in the spirit of Bitcoin, that it's rich, that it was made for average Joe more than the institutions, if that makes sense. If it was made for the institution, there's a book that I'm actually reading at the moment. It's called Bite-Size Wars. I actually highly recommend it. And it goes into detail about... Shh, did you guys hear that? Oh my God, I'm going to end this stream here. It does go into detail about institutions and how it was actually created for. You heard that? Look, hang on, wait. Kevin heard that. Ken heard that. See, I'm not making things up. I do feel like there's something going on. It's so funny because I was doing a collab with Formation yesterday and we were just talking and it was just like literally we heard something in the background as well. Look, Joe heard it as well. Oh, you guys are hearing it? Yeah, I know. Nothing will happen. Dave, if it was you, I wouldn't really mind, if I'm completely honest. It's Trump flying over. Okay. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Anyway, I'm going to end the live stream here simply because I want to check the house. But as you can see, a lot of institutions are coming in. Now, today, I haven't covered banking. Just imagine when the banks come in. I haven't covered things like mining, how the miners are hoarding Bitcoin as well. I haven't covered government government level, in a national level, Bitcoin, strategic reserves, etc. In my previous live streams, I have covered countries like Iran, Russia, China. Oh, what's that European country called? Bulgaria, England, America, El Salvador, Germany, and many other countries, including now Pakistan, which my grandparents are from Pakistan. They're now getting into mining. So there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin. If you have a short-term mindset, oh God, you guys are like so funny. Oh, okay. So if you guys have a long-term mindset, you would understand that even though Michael Saylor might, or last cycle he was buying pretty much the top, it doesn't matter. He's holding for the long term. Whereas if you have a short-term mindset, I would seriously reconsider that. Nothing's financial advice at all, but you don't even need to be a full coiner now to be financially free, or for your children or grandchildren to be financially free, or even building generational wealth. Now, Michael Saylor's recently come out, and he has said that he expects Bitcoin in the next 21 years to reach to reach an individual price of 21 Bitcoin. Just here, just before I go, because I do have these, I went on today, and this is just from today. We have a Chinese gaming company that's going to invest 20% of its cash reserves into Bitcoin. Another, Metaplanet is planning on raising $5 billion to buy more Bitcoin. By the way, when did we get to 5 billion? When did we get into the billions? It used to be millions, companies raising millions of dollars to buy this, that, on the other. When did people start to, get into the billions? This is like pretty new, especially with the amount of coins that are, the amount of companies that are doing it. Another car company, is looking to buy 500 million US dollars of Bitcoin. Metaplanet has bought, I think today or yesterday, over 1,000 more Bitcoin. So it now holds 11,000 Bitcoin. Just this past week. Okay, so just this past week, this is very interesting. I do like this. So just this past week, public companies, and this is obviously the companies that are transparent, have bought 12,400 Bitcoin. And there was only 3,150 Bitcoin mined. Can you see the supply shock? It's only a matter of time. And then we've got a real estate giant who has announced that they would like to buy 1,000 Bitcoin. 1,000 Bitcoin. So as you can see, the supply and the demand are off balance. Welcome, Bullduck. I hope you're well. I'm just going to quickly check the chat to see if there's anyone else I haven't shouted out. If I haven't shouted you out,